All right, I'm here with another pickup video going over some recent finds. Got some pawn shop finds, got some game store finds, and some flea market finds. So kind of spread out over a couple months, actually. Some of the clips were filmed back in March, and then some of them were filmed more recently. So kind of go with that, but kind of back to the old style of pickup videos for some pretty cool stuff, I gotta say. So I took a trip out to Cleveland with some credit, with some, budget to head out and see what I could find to add, hopefully, to the N64 Dreamcast collection. And I went to about, I think, 4 of the locations of my local game store and only found stuff at one of them, but I scored pretty nicely at this one. I had 20% off on this stuff as well, so got a very good deal. So the first thing I got was just a flip, but I couldn't really turn it down for the price. This is like a $30-ish game, and I got it for $12. So that is Armada for Dreamcast. I don't know, I found this before for like underpriced, for like $12 or $10 or something at a different location. So I don't know if in their system it just says to price it at that, but figured I'd get it to flip and bring back some of the money I spent. So I think I'm now, with this next one, I am now 7 or 8 Dreamcast games away from a full set. Crazy to see, but I've never seen this one in person. Gundam Side Story. Side Story 0079 Rise from the Ashes. Never seen this one in person. They had $50 on it, which is pretty much right on, so 20% off, $40 for this. Can't complain about that at all. Was happy to see this one. Good shape. And then, while going through their Dreamcast stuff, I just happened to check here real quick, and I was very shocked with what I found. So there is a Dreamcast game, pretty common game you'll find pretty often, but it has a variant that is much less uncommon and much more expensive. And I just happened to check this game kind of as a joke, thinking like, oh, I wonder if it'll be that variant or not. And I came to realize that it was that variant. So this is the clean cover version of Speed Devils. Original case and everything. So what this was, and I have my own copy of Speed Devils, paid $25, so about what that game would go for. Just a misprice, caught him slipping on that one. So what this was this was the original cover of Speed Devils. Walmart did not want to have any kind of games or albums or anything that had the devil on the front of the case. So they for Walmart released this clean version that did not have the devil on the case. So different variant, goes for $200 to $300 usually for this version. It's pretty hard to come by. And it's funny that like there's still a little bit of like something up top, like the flame that they cut out or something, or is it, I think it's the second page of the manual. But just thought that was funny that, yeah, just happened to think like, oh, I'll check it, because they look the same on the side. But I was like, yeah, I'll check the cover, see what's up. And it was that version. So very happy to see that. That was crazy. Crazy find, $25, so with 20% off. Big score. And one of the rare games in my Dreamcast collection now. Not one that I thought I would really ever get. This was probably the only way I would ever get it, or if I just found it at a garage sale, but that's not super common. So was happy to get this one for sure. So yeah. One new game for the Dreamcast collection. Is getting harder and harder to find them. And then something to flip and a pretty interesting collection piece there. So nice day all around, heading out, getting out of the house too, going out. Weather's getting nicer. So garage sale season is soon, but not quite yet. So was happy to find some games somewhere at least. So for the first time in like what feels like forever, I found some good deals at pawn shops. And it was funny, I did a run out to the one town that has the 2 pawn shops that I probably frequent the most. And I haven't found anything at either of them in probably close to a year of any, and of any note. Maybe something here and there. But I actually ended up doing pretty well at both of them, which is what was really bizarre. So the first one I went to just so happened to have some nice, like, DS games, and the prices were pretty good, and then it actually got better. I asked if I bought, several games if I could get some kind of deal, and they said, yeah, we'll hook you up with something. So I got the ones I was interested in. I was wondering if I should have just grabbed the whole stack of them. I mean, there was some other stuff like Mario Kart DS, Yoshi's Island, and the price was just a little too high on them for me to really need to grab them. I already have them for the collection, and it wouldn't have been good for trying to flip, but maybe I should have just grabbed everything with the deal they gave me. So the games they had here, Dementium the Ward. I'm telling you, there was some interesting stuff here, like not, you know, not the typical stuff you would see there. But Dementium the Ward, published by Gamecock Media Group, so that's cool. And these are all nice shape, complete, you know, no complaints with condition. This is what game I've been wanting actually for the collection for a while. I know Renegade Kid developed this one, and it is like a horror game on the DS, which is not super common. There's not too many M-rated games on DS. There's like Teresia, there's 999, Chinatown Wars. So there's not a whole lot of M-rated games on the DS, so just kind of an interesting one there. But I've heard this is a pretty interesting horror game for the, you know, handheld, which is cool. And then it was $19 their price, so it's already a good deal for this because, you know, somewhat pricey game, so it's already a good deal at 19 bucks. But the deals can, I'll stand them up since I don't have too many here. I'd never seen this game before. Dungeon Explorer Warriors of Ancient Arts, published at least by Hudson. Looks like just an RPG. Never heard of this one before. Seems kind of interesting. I don't know if Hudson developed it or what. I don't see any other teams, so maybe they also developed it, but they only had 9 on this for some reason. I don't know why, but it seems interesting. Figured I would grab it. Complete, good shape, so how could I complain? One I've wanted for the collection for a while. I don't have Advance Wars Days of Ruin. They had 19 on this one as well, and of course, like I said, complete, nice shape. I just can't believe that these were sitting in this pawn shop, because it is just, you know, your typical Cash America. Nothing too special, and they've really only had nothing but like just basic PS4, Xbox One games for the longest time. And then the last one, the only game, so these 3 are going to go in the collection. The only game I already had, but this one just good to pick up. And I will pretty much recoup what I paid for everything on profits from this, and then a 3DS game I got, but that's not too important. Dragon Quest IX. So they had this at 19 as well. I don't know where they came across 19, but Dragon Quest IX, so pretty thrilled with that little score there. Yeah, I left behind, like, they had, for some reason, $29 was Metroid Prime Hunters. That was kind of strange. Then they had, like, Mario Kart DS for 19. They had Yoshi's Island DS for 19. They had just some other stuff that's, like, you know, not bad. You're getting a little bit of a deal on something for, like, Yoshi's Island and some of this stuff, but not really worth it for me since I already have them. I also just saw that they had this loose, and I know that this one has had some value in the past. It's not too bad now, but they had $5 on it. I figured I would just throw it in there. Brunswick Pro Bowling, just a random 3DS game. Just loose, but I figured I'd throw it in there. So they gave me a deal on this. They only charged me, so, you know, would have been about $70, $75 in games minus a couple bucks because of 19. So $71. They gave me all this stuff for $45. So heck of a deal there. Very nice of them to do that. So I thanked them for that. Was very happy with my find there. So $45. This one has some decent value, so I should be able to almost... I'll probably break even and keep 3 pretty cool games for the library. So happy with that for sure. But then I go to the other pawn shop. Don't score quite as hard there, but I still did pretty well. Can't complain. So this pawn shop's weird because they have a ton of games there, but a lot of them are overpriced. And what happens is that I feel like they just randomly price their games like based off of nothing. So they don't get games in a lot, but when they get games in, they will either price them... I don't know, maybe it's like whoever prices them, like who works there or something, but, and it just depends on who you're working with, but they'll either price them like, okay, every game is $8 or $10 or $15, or every game is $1 or $2 or $3. I don't know why they do it like this. It's so strange, but they got in some new stuff and they had priced everything at $1 or $2. So came in and grabbed them there. So Mortal Kombat was $2. Pretty good, you know, complete. So $2 on that one. $2 for Ratchet and Clank Crack in Time. Complete. So these ones kind of just strange, but messed up a little bit on I didn't mess up, they messed up, but it probably actually works out for me a little bit. But they had for $1 Final Fantasy 13, but it was actually Lightning Returns in there. So I think Lightning Returns holds some decent value, so I'll just have an extra case for 13. Disc only, essentially, but for $1, 10 and 10-2 HD remaster for PS3. Maybe for $1, that's a good deal. And then, surprisingly, NBA 2K17, I believe, holds some decent value. It was only $1 anyway. But I think this is the last PS3 NBA game, so this one holds some okay value. So, yeah, I mean, Pawn Shop's pretty good. This was $7 I spent on that. And 45 here, so $52 for a nice, you know, selection of games. 3 that for sure I'm going to add to the library. I think I have Ratchet and Clank. I'm almost positive I have Ratchet and Clank, but I'll have to check. But pretty happy with this little pawn shop haul. Was not expecting to find much of anything. I just, you know, probably once a month I head out just to this town just to check these pawn shops, see what's up. And went out and got a good day, I guess. So pretty happy with that. Okay, those last 2 video clips, or however many video clips were there, were from March. It is May now. Don't ask questions. Not too many, you know, video-related pickups. But kind of continuing on with some of the stuff I got. Went out to the flea market on Memorial Day weekend, the Saturday before Memorial Day. Usually, the Saturday before Memorial Day is one of the best flea market days of the year. And then the Monday is probably the biggest, but it's not as good. Usually all the best finds are out on Saturday. So I was out and about, you know, walking around. I did stop at some garage sales first. Didn't find anything for a garage sale pickup. So I found one thing. This for $1 GBA carrying case, camo. Never had seen this one before. It's like a little backpack. I don't know. That was $1. And then out at the flea market, got some stuff. So I'll kind of just jump into random things. This is maybe the most video game related items that I've seen at the flea market ever. Obviously some bad deals, some deals that were almost good deals, but just not for me really. And then some, you know, just good deals overall. So this was here, stack of games, $10 for the stack, some Xbox games. This is a pretty nice little deal. Monster Jam, Crush It. We got here, I don't even know what this is. Test Drive Unlimited. How does this disc look? Horrible, but that's okay. That's not exactly what I was getting it for. Let's see here. I mean, I guess this is bad, but Pro Evolution Soccer 2008, don't really care about that either, so that can be bad all it wants to be. That's going to drive me crazy. I can't have Xbox One games underneath this since it's a smaller size case. Lego Jurassic World. Now let's see how something like this is. How's this disc? That disc is, it's better. Not amazing, but it's better. Fast and Furious Showdown. I think this one holds some value. This one's complete and everything. And not horrible shape. It's very, I know this game's not very good. It's strange that there's not very many Fast and Furious games. I don't know. You'd think that there would be. Carmageddon Max Damage. I didn't even know this existed until I saw it here. I did not realize that Carmageddon was like still a franchise going on. But there is one on Xbox One. Doesn't look great by any means, but I don't sold out in Stainless Games. I'm guessing Stainless Games is the publisher. I've never heard of them in my life. Something tells me I probably will never hear about them again. But if, you know, one day they end up going on to be like the new Rockstar and I'm look stupid, you can make fun of me. Grand Theft Auto 5. Pretty rough shape, but whatever. Far Cry 5. What are all these? Software GPG sale. I don't know. Sold in, I don't know, who knows. Far Cry 5. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Pretty rough case there. Some NBA, I don't care. and Call of Duty Vanguard. So, $10 for all that. Not a bad deal. Can't complain about that. Some miscellaneous finds, I guess, I'll go into before kind of the biggest stuff. Some games that were just sitting out for $1 each. Lego Batman and SpongeBob Truth or Square. At this point, if it's not like a sports game or not in horrible condition or not like, you know, whatever, I pick up pretty much anything if it's like $1 nowadays. You know, just because I think the SpongeBob game actually holds some value, but just, you know, $1, why not? Other than that, some sealed Just Dances. These are sealed. They hold some pretty alright value sealed, so I will flip these. And these are all from the same booth as well as this. I'd never seen this. It's from Hudson. Honeycomb Beat. Looks like a puzzle game. Never seen this game before, I don't think. So, I'll add this one to the collection. I talked this guy down to 15 for all three, so we'll sell these two, make a little bit of money, keep that one for free. The Xbox games are going to be just trade credit. There's far more than $10 of credit there, and so that's a good deal. I got here a bunch of stuff from a guy. I would have just thought he was a reseller, but he was just selling some games he didn't want. He just had a nice setup. He had a bunch of Japanese PS1 games. Nothing like out of control amazing by any means, but they were only $1 each, so I grabbed a bunch of those, just anything that looked cool, and grabbed some stuff for myself to add to the collection, grabbed some stuff that just looked cool in general, and then grabbed some stuff that's good kind of just to have for eBay, for trade, forever. But he has some neat Japanese stuff. This was $8. A Super Famicom game complete in box. I have a little collection of CIB Super Famicom games over there. I'm not sure what game this is. It's an old Koei game. See, I bought this for $8. It must hold some value. I mean, I don't know how old this sticker's from, but I mean, he bought this for, or someone bought this for, you know, 11,000 yen. This might hold some value. I don't know, but I've never seen this game, but I can't complain for $8 for a CIP nice shape Super Famicom game. I've always loved the Super Famicom game boxes. Just the size, just the art they always have. Super cool. I always say I think my favorite all-time video game box art is the Super Famicom box art for Super Metroid. So, found some other stuff. These were $3 each. I just thought they were cool. Monster Hunter Portable 2G and Monster Hunter Portable 3rd. Shout out to Sky85, beloved Monster Hunter YouTuber. He knows all about Monster Hunter. Let's see what else is on here. Some good ones that are just good for trade. Call of Duty Black Ops. Not too bad. And all this guy's stuff was in pretty good shape too. So here, I'll do it like this side is Japanese. This side is non. Or this side I'm keeping. Stuff like that. I don't know. Farming Simulator 17. These always hold some value. The Farming Sim games. The thick manual. You usually don't see manuals anymore in games. So nice to see a nice thick manual. Forza Motorsport 2. Crash Wrath of Cortex. This is in a little bit rough shape. The manual's torn, but it was $2. It's in a DVD case, but the disc is nice, so I can swap out the case and everything. The disc's in pretty good shape. Lego Star Wars Complete Saga for only $1. Like, how can you say no to that? And look how nice the disc is. This guy had some really nice shaped stuff, so how could I say no to $1 for that? Sims 3 for $1. The key. Oh, there we go. The disc is a little bit scratched because I'm guessing that it got scratched up by the broken case, but can get an easy case swap on that, no problem. Another Lego Star Wars Complete Saga. This one was $2 for some reason. So I don't know why that was the case, but it was. Another Call of Duty Black Ops for $2. I don't know why I bought this one I don't know why I bought this Call of Duty Black Ops. That's in horrible shape. I guess I didn't check the disc on that one because the other ones looked good. I don't know. Oh, that was my first. Oh, no. Another Call of Duty Black Ops. Is this one better? Yeah, that one's good. Little fingerprints, but that one's fine. Call of Duty Black Ops. I didn't realize I got this many copies of Black Ops. This one has decent trade value, so it's not a horrible one to get. But, you know, Call of Duty Black Ops. Again. Guitar Hero Aerosmith. This one was cool. Sealed Rock Band Track Pack AC/DC. Still brand new sealed, so not too bad. I think I just bought these for cases, honestly. Wii Fit Plus. I think I kind of just bought those for cases, so. And Just Dance 2, because, you know, it was $1. Good trade. Items. Guitar Hero 3 for $2. It's always a good one to grab. Farming Simulator 19. This one was brand new sealed as well. And then the Japanese games I was talking about. A lot of PS1 games. There was a Saturn game, Air Management 96. Just a strange concept, so I thought, you know, I don't know what disc it's missing, if the second disc is a game disc, or if the second disc is something else entirely, but there is a disc that is not present, so I'll have to look into that, but it was cheap. I got a deal under sticker price then for this stuff too. So I paid a little even less than sticker price and didn't even ask for it. Owlbird Force. I don't know. Just thought this was interesting. Owlbird Force. Looks like a shooter. Like a space shooter type thing. Boxer's Road. I mean, how can you turn on cool PlayStation games for $1? Runabout Climax. Are you born to drive? Beat Mania. This one seemed kind of interesting. I do have a Japanese PS1, so I can play all these. Convenience Store Simulation Game 2. The Conveni 2. I want to try this one out. Oh, Human Interactive developed that. Human Entertainment developed that. That's cool. Experience of Fiction Life World Neverland. The Olerud Kingdom Stories. $1 too for this. So sticker price on this stuff came to be, I think, $58, and then I ended up paying. He just said, "Oh, you want to do 50?" And I wasn't going to talk him down from that because that's already a pretty good deal. So got that all for $50. Some cool stuff there. Some really cool stuff there. So this is all going to go in the collection. And some other stuff I will pretty much either break even, and I'll probably make some money on, you know, when it comes down to selling stuff like that. So good stack there. Took kind of a gamble on this. This is exclusively, you could call me a reseller on this one, because this is exclusively and only for reselling. These books are a little bit dirty, but I think I can clean them up just fine. They are a collection of manga that just caught my eye out there. They didn't catch my eye for, you know, I don't find them interesting, but I saw a lot of them. And they were the right price. So there was, I think this is the complete set, but that's what the guy told me. $15 for the manga set of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Manga set for that. I saw these going for like 10 books for over $100. And I got all 15 of them. So I feel like I could get 125 maybe out of that, depending on how they clean up. But I figured I'd give it a shot. Not my proudest purchase, I must say. Not exactly intrigued by the plot or the just concept of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon. But as far as things go, you know, I'll take the money to buy some more games out of that. I've bought manga lots before, and I always do well on them. That's why I kind of caught my eye. So he also had some games at his table. He had them $3 each, 2 for $5. So I grabbed Little Big Planet and The Walking Dead. So not bad ones to get there either. And as far as the flea market stuff goes, bought a couple 360s. Kind of just for parts, but I think one of them might work. We'll have to see. This one I don't think will work, but it had a hard drive, so but this one's pretty messed up, but it had a hard drive in it, so hard drives are always good to get. 250 is a pretty nice size. The biggest you can get is 500, so it's not too bad. But I mean, this is all ripped up. Someone was messing around on the inside of this one, so I'm gonna guess this one is probably no shot, probably not coming back from the dead. But this one over here doesn't look too bad. This one looks perfectly fine. So there's a chance this one is going to probably work. And this one didn't have a hard drive, so it's nice just to... I'll just harvest a hard drive, and I only paid $10 for both of them, so should be able to do well. Even if neither system works, I'll sell them for parts and have a hard drive for the next system that I get that doesn't have one. And that makes the value of the console go up for sale much more valuable. So that's it. Leave a comment down below with what you thought of my finds, if the garage sale flea market season has started up for you yet, if you found anything cool. If you're a fan of what's it called, is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon, whatever, leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We'll be putting out semi-regular, I don't want to promise weekly videos anymore, but regular, when they're ready, garage sale, flea market, pickup type videos. So keep an eye out for those. Like the video if you enjoyed it. It helps out in the algorithm. And until next time, I'd like to thank you for watching.